Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monday Night Insights. I am your host. My name is PM Fay, and I'm here in my store called Artisan's Palette. We're in Temecula, California, and I'm joined again by my good friend Beth. Hi. And we're here today to talk to you about a concept that is part of our 7-module course called Get Food Smart, Join My Tribe. This 7-module online self-paced course is going to start to be available probably toward the end of the year. So we're building it now, we're super excited about it, we're going to continue to hear about it, we're going to continue to talk about it, and part of that is rolling out because Beth is taking the course and following her journey throughout the course. Now, on the 4th Thursday of every month, I teach basically some of the modules that are here in the course that are part of the Get Food Smart course. And if you want to learn more about it, I would love for you to go to the website. It's called IamCleanEater.com. And where it says you can drop your email, just go ahead and right now you can get our free ebook on the 10 Commandments for Clean Eating. So you can just go there, and you can also watch some of the videos that are on our YouTube channel, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now on Thursday, I taught one of the modules, which is called Up Your Game. And I first want to talk about that concept of what it meant. So before you took the class, Beth, what were you thinking that those 3 words meant? Like before you took the class, and then you took the class. What was your idea? Was it in line with what I taught?
As far as just up your game, or the
the
whole
concept,
course in
the
general?
concept of up your game, was it?
Okay. The concept of up your game.
The concept of up your game. So when I say that and somebody hasn't taken the course, what do you think they're thinking? What up your game means?
I think they're just thinking, you need to change something and you need to do better than you're doing.
Okay.
So maybe that means adopting a different lifestyle, or maybe that involves switching certain foods, eliminating certain foods. Because I think most people are coming from a dieting perspective. So they're just thinking, okay, so this is just a different diet, and so I'll just upping my game just means I'm going to change the way I view nutrition, and I'm going to think about it in a different way.
Okay. So then, did you have a similar thought like that before you took the class on Thursday, or because you know?
No, because I'd spent enough time in the store and we'd known each other long enough to where when you said up your game, I knew what that meant. So
Okay.
I went into the class knowing pretty much exactly what up your game meant, but it was still really helpful because there was even things in my journey that I hadn't upped my game on.
Okay.
It was something even as simple as my salt that I cook with.
Right.
I was realizing that I was on the kind of lowest end of the salt pyramid.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I need to up my game on salt.
Yes.
So that was an easy switch for me to make.
Yes. So let's describe it. So the concept of up your game means, let's say it's from everything, okay? From you're ingesting water every day. You are, many of you are ingesting and drinking coffee every day. You're eating some form of fruit or vegetable every day. So when we go through that, we start to look at that and say, okay, is that really the best version that I'm having? So let's take coffee for a minute. If you are drinking coffee every day, basically any coffee that you're going to get from any roast house, any type of Starbucks style coffee, it's really no different than Folgers. Okay, it's industrial coffee. That's it. It's all coffee. It's all in one big category. You want to believe that it's better because you're paying more money for something that you go into, like a Starbucks or a Pete's or something like that.
Well,
but
you're assuming that you're getting a better quality product.
You're assuming, right.
But that's the assumption that you're making
Yes.
without having really thinking that they're doing that work for you.
Yes.
Or you're having organic coffee, which sure is a step up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, if coffee is part of your daily ritual,
Yes.
you know, and something you do literally every day, then that definitely is something that you'd want to up your game on.
100%. Okay. So then it doesn't mean you do it all in one day. You just start to understand, why do you want to move up a ladder. So when you come and visit the store at Artisan's Palette, and actually you can just go to the website iamacleaneater.com, and you'll see a bigger concept of this, of what you're buying. It's a
Yeah.
pyramid that kind of goes through all the foods. But up your game is basically saying, let's pick one category of food at a time. Basically, these verticals, you know, coffee is a vertical. Let's pick one at a time, and let's walk up and see how you can up your game. So let's talk about that, because I know a lot of people drink coffee, and we start talking about, okay, what do you do? The base is, if you're drinking a Folgers or a Starbucks or a Pete's, know what you're drinking, number one, and know that, okay, that's probably the bottom level. That's at the base. You can improve a little bit by choosing an industrial coffee option, right? Where these are industrial beans. Maybe your local coffee roaster will buy these industrial organic beans, and then they roast them. So you feel like you're getting a little bit more, like, oh, that's a little bit better.
From
But
a place kind of like Bean, where they're doing their
Yeah.
own roasting, and you know, they
Right.
have organic options, I think.
yes,
And you know, so this is better than a Starbucks.
correct.
Which is kind of like, even though it seems like it because you're paying more, it's really a bottom level coffee
It's
house.
a bottom
just as
level,
the same
yeah.
as if you went to Dunkin' Donuts, really.
No, it's the same.
You know, it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same. Absolutely, it's the same.
Mhm.
So then you go up, you kind of look at these different levels, and then you can look at another level, which would be like, oh, but I order from this organic coffee house in Kauai, and they've got really great coffee, and they're roasting everything. I would say that would be the level up from the industrial coffee. That would
Yeah.
be more like an artisanal coffee house. And it's like, oh, here's our plant, and you know, you could come and visit our farm, and
Yeah.
we're making.
So you kind of know where the beans are coming from,
Exactly.
and you have an
Yes.
idea of the growing practices.
Yes.
And then they're giving you a lot of information, and so you're like, okay, this is a safer, cleaner purchase for me.
Correct. Yes,
Mhm.
100%. So now we've got, oh, okay, we're understanding this up your game kind of ladder, and we presented it in these pyramids, because as you continue to go up the ladder, there's fewer and fewer people and
Yeah.
farmers
Mhm.
doing it this way, right?
Yeah.
So now we go another level above that, and we support companies like Caveman Coffee, Four Sigmatic Coffee. These are companies that are actually testing the beans for mold and mycotoxins. And then the Four Sigmatic coffee that we have in the store also has chaga and lion's mane, which are two types of mushrooms that add all sorts of medicinal properties associated with it. So you're thinking, wow.
So you're not only getting a flavor impact, you're getting a nutritional impact as well.
Correct. Now
Which
we're
is-
having like
which is-
superfoods.
That's great, because that makes it, you know, the best possible version of what you can get, because you're not only getting a better flavor, which, you know, we all want our stuff to taste good. That's
Yeah.
the point.
Yes. Yes.
But the other point is making sure that it's nutritionally dense.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just worthless. You might as well, you know, even drinking water would be more nutritional.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know about tap water, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, not tap water.
Because we're going to go up the pyramid for tap water too, or
But
water.
you know,
But you're right.
there's also
Yes.
the acidic component to coffee,
Yes.
and like some people, you know, the coffee may not love the back.
Correct.
So it's like you love coffee, but it doesn't necessarily benefit you.
Yes, and that's another great concept that Beth is bringing up. Part of the course that we're going to present to you is understanding the foods and going through the process of, oh, I love you, but do you love me back? And if the answer is no, and you found that out through your elimination, then that really helps you understand you're not depriving yourself. You're just having this one-way love affair with these foods that don't love you back.
Yeah, and coffee is, you know, so a part of our culture. You know, you get up in the morning and you have your coffee or use something as a pick-me-up.
Yes.
You know, but we also have to think about that is one of the things I've realized on my clean eating journey is that I'm leaving coffee in my rearview mirror.
Oh, good. Okay, I didn't know
Because
that.
I realized that the reason that I liked drinking coffee was an excuse to have tons of sugar and cream.
Okay.
Because I was the person who had my sugar and cream with a dash of coffee,
Okay.
as if that was the permission that like it was okay. And so that wasn't a good thing for me. And what I
Right.
realized when I stripped those things away was that I don't like the taste of coffee.
Okay.
That I prefer tea.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I made
good.
that switch. I drink more tea now.
Yes.
And I was also thinking of what did I need that sugar and cream and coffee to do? Well, I needed it to wake me up in the morning because I didn't
Okay.
have a lot of energy.
Right.
But since I've been on my clean eating journey longer now, I'm finding I have that energy just naturally. I don't even need the pick me up,
I love that.
which
I'm
is
so
which
happy.
is great.
Yeah.
So that's been a big journey for me because I was a coffee drinker, for a few years, pretty solid.
Okay.
But it was a few years ago
Yeah.
because I had, and even a little bit before the course, I had realized that the sugar and cream with a dash of coffee wasn't good. So I was just limiting it, but I was still allowing myself to have that Starbucks, that Frappuccino or whatever. It was like, okay, that's not part of my daily routine, but when I go out of town, I can have it.
Oh,
and so
I
it was
see.
like anytime I went out of town for work or for school or for anything, it was like, oh, okay, I can have my Starbucks because I'm going out of town.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
long as
yeah.
it's not every day.
I
So
see.
it was like a license to do that, and so I
Mhm.
just realized that it's just something I can leave behind.
Okay, I love that. That's awesome. And that's a really good point, actually, because if you're upping your game and going up the ladder and choosing these great coffees, but still have the habit of putting all the creamer and the artificial flavor and the sugar, that's not the point. Coffee is supposed to be similar when you drink it to wine. You're supposed to be able to taste the dirt and taste where it's grown and taste the elevation, which are the same properties that you would understand when you actually start to drink different varietals of wine. That should be the joy of coffee, being able to taste the different varietals of coffee. The reason people are so used to putting so much cream and sugar in their coffee is because the coffee that they're buying is so bad, right? It's that baseline
it's
industrial
flavorless.
coffee that is
So you have
horrible.
to add the flavor to it because
Yes.
it doesn't bring anything to the table.
Yeah, exactly. So now if we're going up the ladder when it comes to coffee and we've reached up at the top, the pinnacle, which would be companies that are testing for molds and mycotoxins, now we're understanding, wow, what is that? What's in my coffee? What's on? Imagine that now that you're on all that industrial coffee and all the stuff that's in it and it's not being tested, right? So now we go, okay, well, depending on the lifestyle change that you've decided to follow, some of you might follow more of a fat adapted lifestyle change, or some of you might have decided to do more of a vegan lifestyle change, or paleo, or primal. So now you look at your specific lifestyle, now you carry that theme over to your up your game, right? So now let's talk about what would the coffee look like that if we were trying to be and continue to be fat adapted, what would we add to the coffee to make it a major superfood coffee at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, I would think we would add a healthy fat.
Yep.
We would add coconut oil or ghee or
My favorite, the MCT oil.
Yeah, the MCT oil.
The MCT oil. And so now you're starting to look at the coffee as giving you some form of nutrition in addition to the great properties that coffee has when it comes to just being a clean coffee. Now you're giving it, oh, look, I can add different proteins to my coffee. I'm getting amino acids based on the proteins in my coffee. I'm getting my good fat, which will help me produce ketones and help the inflammation, which is what MCT oil does. So this is kind of the steps that you're taught when you start to take this course called Get Food Smart, Join My Tribe. And that course will start to become available more toward the end of the year. But if you want to have information on the course, either drop your email at the end of this video or go to iamacleaneater.com and sign up for our ebook, and that way we can sign you up as well for getting information on our course. Now let's look at, you brought up both water and salt. Let's pick one.
Okay.
And then let's go up your game with that too.
Okay.
So we could give them another example, because we went through so many examples in the course. We went through
there
like
were a lot
8
of new
different-
pyramids that
yes.
I wasn't aware of, and then a lot of possibilities of upping my game that I hadn't considered, because I had upped my game on meat, because I
Yeah.
still eat meat, and I had upped my game on my produce,
Yep.
and I had upped my game on my snacks, but I didn't think about the water.
Right.
So
Yes.
we could do water.
You want to do water?
Sure.
Okay. So before you were introduced to the up your game concept and you were drinking water, what was the type of water you were drinking?
I was doing a filtered tap water, so
Filtered
kind of
tap.
like a Brita thing,
Okay.
but with the off-brand Brita.
Okay.
Because that was more affordable, and it was an easy switch to make.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna be using tap water. I'm just gonna use the filtered water, the pitcher, and you just fill it up, and it was an easy switch.
Okay.
Um,
So let's do the base first for water. The base, if you imagine a pyramid, would be tap water, and there are a lot of people that are still drinking tap water. Believe it or not, still drinking tap water. So the tap water, of course, has all sorts of chemicals and also heavy metals, chlorine, fluoride. There's a lot of stuff in our water.
yeah,
And
and
the-
even if you're not like drinking the tap water just for drinking water, you're also cooking with it.
Yes.
You're also showering with it, and then you're also when you go out, they're serving you tap water if you
Yes.
get water.
Yes.
So you're
exactly.
adding lemon to it to make it taste better,
Right.
but it's still tap water.
Exactly. So
Because
now,
nobody's bringing you filtered water to the table. I don't know any restaurant that would
I
do
know
that.
a couple. I do
You
know
know
a
a
couple.
couple?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is filtering. So
Oh,
that
okay.
is
Well, that's good.
possible. Yeah, it is
Okay.
possible. But the one thing with tap water is it cannot, no matter the filtering system that you get from your local area, it will not get rid of pharmaceuticals. There's pharmaceuticals in your water, so that's just fact. Okay. So now we go up the pyramid. What Beth was saying, and she was saying, okay, she uses some off-brand version of a bitter. What's it?
Of a Brita filter.
Brita
is like kind of the most
filtration.
recognized
Yeah.
filter.
Brita filtration style system. Okay, where you're taking the tap water, put it through there, it will filter it. You're hoping it's going to do something with it, and then you're drinking that.
Right.
Well, that filtering system, regardless of which one you get, okay, and that's where there's so many different variations, is in the filtering component itself, is how good is that filter,
Right.
okay? So you get everything from a Brita, which would probably be the lowest level,
Yeah.
or some version of that, to something like a Berkey, which I think would be kind of probably the higher end
Yeah,
of that.
the higher end of the spectrum.
Right. So now, and it's everything in between, but the reality is that filtration might remove some of those heavy metals and the fluoride and chlorine and things like that, but it still doesn't remove the pharmaceuticals that are in the water.
Yeah, and the chlorine was the scariest thing to me, because I was just like, oh, okay, so I'm drinking pool water.
Yeah.
Ew.
Right.
I mean, we all do that unintentionally when we swim, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's just kind of a gross picture.
Right.
You're like, oh, okay, I'll just have my glass of pool water.
Okay, so now we're going up the pyramid. So the next level from there, so you've got so many variations from the filtering system, but now what happens during that filtering system is it also starts to remove any minerals that you might have had, any natural mineral source that the water might have had from the beginning. So some people are so proud of their systems because it's like, oh, it's just pure H2O. We have nothing in it. It's like, well, you want to be drinking water that has some pH associated with
Right.
it. Our body pH is 7, so that's an important factor to it. The water should have some minerals associated with it or inside it, so when you're drinking it, you're actually absorbing minerals. So you want things like selenium, you want things like the copper, zinc, some of these other things that are in it. Those are the types of things you actually want to have. So now we get into the idea of drinking spring water. And again, this runs the gamut, right? So it's better. So yes, Arrowhead, I'm going to say it, Arrowhead is better than Dasani, everybody. Okay.
No, but Dasani tastes better.
That's what everybody says.
Which is, yeah, which is what I realized is that, the reason because I've been put off by Arrowhead before.
Yes.
Because at work, we've gone through several waters that were available in the cooler.
Okay.
And so we had Arrowhead for a little while, and I was drinking it because it was free, but not necessarily because I liked the taste of it, because it does have that kind of metallic taste.
Yes.
But now I realize that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Is because it has the metals and the minerals.
It's got a little bit better, So right. The problem
it's better than
what the filtering,
what the purified water was that we switched to.
Yes.
Because it was more like one step above drinking water.
Correct.
Because drinking water is just another word for tap water.
Correct.
So you're just paying for bottled tap water.
Yes.
So
that's
not
right.
so good.
That's right.
Why pay more?
Right.
I mean, if you're going to drink tap water, drink the tap that's coming out of your sink.
Yeah, exactly. So now we go up and we say, okay, well, the issue with something like an Arrowhead water or Crystal Geyser water is the springs are everywhere. They're not really telling you, or I guess you can find out where the springs are, how many springs they use, the elevation of the spring. So these are all components of what makes your water and going up that pyramid and upping your game and what makes it better. So we're so lucky here in Southern California for so many reasons. But one is there's a local source for water called Mount Palomar Water. And you can call them, tell them you were talking to me. I've got the number if you need it. Let me know. His name is Caesar. Call him. He will deliver to your house. If you tell him you were talking to me, he will give you a discount, and you will get amazing tests at 7 pH, which is what our bodies want. It's got all the minerals. It tastes fantastic, and they will deliver to your house. So that's one of the best waters that you can actually just bring in and start to drink.
Yeah, and it's the only water you have here in the store.
Oh, it's the only water we have here in the store. It's the only water I have at my house.
Yeah, so when I've come to the store and I've wanted water, I got the Mount Palomar water, and I will definitely say, like, even at the first sip, I liked it better than Arrowhead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no comparison.
Just in the taste.
Yeah, for sure. It's such a real clean water.
It has a very clean taste.
Yes,
I mean, that's what we're drinking now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, where do you go when you up your game on water? So you're drinking Mount Palomar, you're drinking, as much water as you can throughout the day to stay hydrated. I just do the simple urine test. I don't, not on a stick or anything like that. Just when I go to the bathroom and I look at the color of my urine, if it's a darker yellow, then I know I need to drink more water. So I'm just drinking more water. And then when it's a very clear kind of color, then I know I'm hydrated. That's how I tell. I'm not basing it on my weight or my height or how much I need, or I read some article says you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. I don't base it on that. I just I go to the bathroom, I look at it, go, okay, I gotta start drinking more water.
And that's a simple thing that anybody can incorporate into their lifestyle.
Correct.
Because it's super easy.
Right.
It's not like you have to, do something
right. Where's my stick?
Invasive or uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Kind of like take a quick glance. All right.
Yeah.
And then
flush the toilet
and then
and start drinking
just
water.
Keep going.
Right.
Go about your day. It's not a big deal.
Right. So what I do once a day as well with some of the water that I drink is I actually put a little bit of salt in the water. So that's the Norder salt that you love.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we have a whole thing on upping your game with salt, but now combining them, then I'm going to get even extra minerals from the salt because of how the salt is produced. It tastes good. It's not like to the point where my water is so salty that I can't have it, and it really helps with the hydration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that's a way to up
Your
my
game.
game
Yes.
with the water.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Add a little salt.
Add a little salt.
And then even if you don't like the flavor, then maybe you like salt.
Yeah.
So maybe you like a slightly saltiness to
Yeah.
the water.
It's not that.
And then
it doesn't taste
it's
like
a-
super
it's a
like
flavor.
salty water. You know. It's just,
Yeah.
It's once a day that I just add a little pinch to it.
Oh,
and it's
okay.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the concept of Up Your Game. You need to look at all the things that you consume throughout the day and say, is that really the best version of that item? Did I really up my game on that? And the stuff that you consume more than other things is kind of by process of elimination of where you start, and just make it the very best that you can. Once again, visit us online at iamacleaneater.com. Go to our YouTube channel from the website. You can click on our YouTube, go there and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll see all our videos. We have meal plans. We have a really fun quiz that you can do. So check out the website, and then we'll be back at you with another topic next week. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.